Hi, my name is Aaron Brock. I'm the Director of Sports Medicine and Performance for USA Volleyball. I'm the primary provider for the men's indoor team and run a lot of warm-ups for the team, whether it's for practice, for matches, for strength training sessions alongside my colleague Tim Pillow, our strength and conditioning coach. Whether this is here at home, when we're in our own practice gym training, or when we're on the road, warm-ups are really important. I have the pleasure of having Mr. Jeff Jendryk here to work with me on some warm-ups to demonstrate how we go about doing that. Oftentimes, we will start on the ground. Let's go ahead and just loosen up the back to start, Jeff. So leg over, hold that leg down and just reach it back. If we have time, we definitely start on the ground for some light mobility, light activation. If you don't have a lot of time, this can be bypassed. Switch sides. Oh, I think it's good for coaches to do as well. I know it's a nice time for coaches to be able to sit and relax. You know, they don't have maybe anything going on, but it's nice just to loosen up. So we'll hit all the main areas: back, shoulders, knees, ankles, hips. Pull that leg up for a bretzel, Jeffrey. So we'll get a little bretzel here. I like getting full range of motion in the main joints in a controlled way first, before you do it in a ballistic way in volleyball. And switch sides. So the goal isn't necessarily to lengthen the quad right now, but a little bit of knee flexion range of motion and some quad elongation. All right, let's get a top leg lift, Jeff. So we go with a little bit of light activation and mobility to start. Bottom leg. Switch sides, top leg. Bottom. Scale a little bit for the shoulder, throw a sleeper stretch on there. Go between a sleeper and just bringing the arm under. Yeah, under here, roll it forward. Nice to get a little range of motion on the shoulders. It does feel good. And press it up for your back, Jeff. Get some extension. Then rotating right and left. Some spinal extension with a little rotation. We're getting some opening of the front of the trunk and some scorpions. Oh, yeah. This can be as little as 2 minutes. It can be as long as 15 or 20. Depends on what you're trying to do. Let's get some T's. Just lift that chest up off the ground just a little bit. Get some T's. Some W's. And Y's. And do 2 push-ups. And then bring the knee up for a groiner. Drop that elbow. Throw a couple rotations in there. And then switch sides. Get the other groiner. Oh yeah, it's been a while. I think bronze medal match warm-up was the last one I've done here.
It's been a little bit.
Couple rotations. All right, go ahead and stand up. So that would be an example of some of the ground-based preparation that we'll do. So let's go ahead and start on the line here, Jeff. We're going to go through some of these categories. We're just going to get the heart rate up just a little bit, all right? So go ahead and just jog and backpedal to the net twice for me. Nice and easy. We're just starting out here. Joints aren't quite ready. Tendons aren't quite ready, but just nice and easy. Turning the heaters on, and then shuffle once and Carioca once, Jeff. So we just got a little continuous movement here. We're getting the heart rate up, start to hopefully get a little sweat going. Carioca, yeah. And then just to the net for some high knees. You can go single leg, double leg. So you can do a single leg, high knee, or a double, and butt kicks on the way back. And then skip it down there one time, down and back. Loosen up the arms as you skip. Big circles with the shoulder, like to loosen up the arms. And then do 10 jumping jacks for me, just on the line. Stay, yeah. Oh, two. There you go. So this is just a little continuous circuit of low intensity movements that'll get the heart rate up. You breathing a little hard? Got any sweat on that brow yet? Almost. Okay. All right, let's do a little bit of active mobility, dynamic motion. Let's go through some hip openers so you can bring it forward and back. Opening up the hip. I like to point the hip straight forward. Some people just kind of do that. That doesn't really do much good. Keep those hips pointing forward. Open up the hips. Do this all the way to the net. And then let's go a hip flexor and quad. So we're here, we're stretching the hip flexor. Give it a little pause. You can give a reach if you'd like. And then you shift your weight forward. Single leg balance. Get a good quad stretch. Lunging it forward. You're obviously turning on that front leg, so it works as an activation as well. But the primary goal here is to open up the front of the hip flexor in the back, and then get a little quad stretch. Let's get one more each leg there. If you have big open spaces, you can cover a lot of ground. You can adjust kind of what you're doing and how you're doing it. But typically what we do have is a half a volleyball court. So that's what we want to use and make the most use of here. All right, let's do a little hamstring walk. Just reach it to the outside, to the inside. And hinging the hips is important here. I see a lot of people just kind of hunching the back. I see a lot of people doing this. I don't really know what that is. I'd rather just put that leg out there, reach it down. To me, the hamstrings aren't the most important thing to stretch. You can throw one in there, but if you're gonna leave one out, I think the hamstrings are fine to leave out. Quads, hip flexors are probably the most important. And now let's get a groin. So just kind of drop it down. Just get that groin kind of right and left. Walk it out, pivot it out. You can also just do a bent knee groin where you're in here, or a straight knee groin. I also see people just going something like that. It doesn't really do much. So just really open up the inside of the hips. Let's get a little bit more for the shoulders. So with the shoulders, he's done some big circles, but let's just walk it out and get big circles. So a little big air guitar, clockwise, counterclockwise, bringing the arm across, and then bringing it up overhead. Then do that the other arm. Big circles. Again, get full range of motion in a nice controlled way before you're doing it in a more aggressive, violent way in volleyball. Big circles, arm across, arm up. All right, so we've gone through some thermogenic, getting the temperature up, some mobility, hitting all the major joints. Now we're gonna go through some activation. So let's just walk it forward. We've already done a little bit of Ys and Ts on the ground, but let's just get a few reps, get like 3 reps. walk it out, get some Ys. So let's go 3 and 3. So we'll end up about 6 reps of T's, 6 reps of Ys. Go ahead and walk out for some calves. A lot of different options in these categories, and it's fine to be creative and work through some different things. All right, what do we got next? A little bit of lunge and rotate. So lunge it out, give a rotate, and use this front leg to come up on. A lot of times people are just pushing off that back leg. It's preferred to have that weight be on that front. And rotate. Go ahead and drop down and do this rotation here, Jeff. So this acts as both a leg, kind of full thigh activator, and a thoracic spine rotator. Some good activation there. Let's do just a walk and squat. So just drop it down. I like to do a few variations of squats. You can kind of do a narrow one. You can do shoulder width, and you can do sumo. Just drop down a few different squats, shake it out, walk it out. Put a little tension through the knees. We're getting the tendons, a little bit of load, progressively loading the force that the body has to incur. That's what we're trying to do here. And last one here, let's drop down to lateral lunge and push out of it. So a lunge is when you drop in, and a lateral squat is when you're already there and you just drop in. So you can pivot out, drop down into a lunge, a little bit more responsive. All right, and let's just we didn't do any like the hip rotators, so we'll get a little hip rotator. I know I have these categorically thermo mobility activate. You can mix those up a little bit. So this is more of a mobility movement that we're doing in the middle of the activation segment, but that's fine. All right, so now we have everything prepped and ready for a little bit more force, a little bit more speed. So we're going into a jump landing. So now, Jeff, let's just go one time. Let's just kind of do some drops. You can start even here. They call them snap downs, where you go up on your toes, you're reaching high, and you're just dropping. Perfect. So those are some snap downs. Just a little bit of light decelerations. Nice and easy. You can kind of see Jeff is jogging. It's fine. Drop it in. And on the way back, we're gonna just do a little bit of a power skip. Okay, so just get up there a little bit higher. And let's do a lateral push. So it's a lateral bound to the net and back. It's perfect for these little blockers. You guys need to do this a lot. And so it's nice to do it in a slow, controlled way before you do it in a fast way. Let's do some light approaches. So go ahead and mix up some roots. These are nice, light and easy jumps. It's really painful for me to see kids jumping for the first time before a game in hitting lines, trying to bounce balls. It is really not great for the knees. So we're just getting these knee tendons primed. So now let's do a single leg kick. We'll do a little single leg now, so it's a little bit of kind of an angled. You can even just do a big walk into it if your knees aren't quite ready, or you can do a little bound like Jeff's doing here. And on the way back, nice and quick with those single leg bounds. So we're sticking it there. Here we're just bounding. All right, so we're slowly getting to a boil here. So we finish off with the last category, a high intensity move. So I just like to get in a good athletic stance sometimes and get a little burst out. So let's face this direction as you are. Get a good defensive position on my clap. Let's do a little burst, okay? Go. Good. Face the same way, Jeff. Ready? Go. Now face this direction. I want you to pursue a ball pivot out to your right and run. Ready, go. Nice. Same thing, pivot out to your left. Go. There it is, there it is. So now I just want you to do like a little jump, come down and go, okay? Little jump on your own cadence, little jump, come down and go. Same thing. Good. And if we want a little bit more, what I want you to do is a fast shuffle. We've already done a little shuffling. That was light, easy, part of our thermo piece. This is like high intensity. So get nice and low, do a quick shuffle down and back. Ready, go. Nice and quick, nice and quick. Now do a quick Carioca, nice and quick. Twist the hips, twist, 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 and back. High speed, high knees, all the way down, bop, bop. And then butt kicks on the way back. Nice and quick, nice and quick. Get them up, get them up. So there we go. So that's an example of running through our categories. You can see he's breathing a little bit hard. He's in really good shape. So he's not breathing that hard, but we got a little sweat on the brow. He's aroused. You see him smiling. He's ready to go. So we got some extra stimulation that he's ready to go. We've created a little bit of a routine before the match. Now it's time to play. We got all the physical preparation. We've got a little mental preparation. Now let's get on the ball and get going.